What's up?
What's
What's up?
up? What up, fellas?
This your boy Stevie J on here with my homie from another mother, D Major 808, and my little sis,
Hey,
aka I am Ebony Joy. Woo, it's been a long day, y'all. Long day. So we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna talk to you all today about mental health and how it pertains to business. So we're just gonna be giving you all a little run through of just how to keep your psyche intact when it comes to going out to these jobs and companies, and really just making sure you don't lose yourself to any company unless it's your own company. So we're gonna go on to start off. I'm gonna kick it over to my homie. I am Ebony Joy. We're gonna go from there.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for coming into the room and supporting our amazing show, Minding Your Business, Ohana. We're going to help you connect to community and to business and definitely to self, which that's what we're working on today when we're talking about mental health, is helping you get reconnected to yourself so that you can plant, ground, and grow and expand your own business. Expand your own self, expand everything that you're doing and the network that you are connected with at the same time. And with me, I'm entertainment. I am an artist, so everything that I have is going to come from that perspective. So I'll be talking about mental health and entertainment, mental health and music, mental health as it pertains to my artists, and that's what we gonna be at. What up, D? What you gonna tap on?
all right. So my key things are about balance. I am what you would call a multifaceted kingdompreneur. And when I say multifaceted kingdompreneur, everything that I do, no matter what job it is, what business I'm operating in, is gonna revolve around and always include the Lord Almighty. So when it comes to being a kingdom servant and everything, I gotta tell y'all, balance as a kingdompreneur is absolutely important. So I'm definitely going to talk about how to be balanced when it comes to being multifaceted and having multiple things going on, all in the compass of one individual person with a team, with the right people around you, because your energy can bounce off and hit somebody else, and then that can throw off a whole vibe for another thing. So you got to keep you balanced so you can recognize when you need to help someone else and have them balanced as well.
Facts. That's facts. I think that speaks to creating a team. Like, that's huge important, because if you can't balance yourself, like when it comes to building a team, you really got to get yourself first. When it comes to building anything, which is why we even talking about mental health, you have to get yourself first. You can't build onto anything if you're unstable. Everything's gonna rock and fall off. So I think that I guess I'll go ahead and speak to one of the things I think in entertainment that helps with the breakdown of mental health, I'll say, is I'm scared. I feel like a lot of actors that I know is gonna be like, really?
No, look, the fact that you bringing it up means is that much. That's much importance into it, right? So
Right.
if you don't say it, if you don't bring it to the forefront,
Then I'm not
it's not
helping.
gonna help somebody
And
that
that's what
need
we're
it.
here to do, is help. So, like I'm saying, reality TV is one of the things I think is huge, a huge factor when it comes to the breakdown of mental health in the entertainment. And that's because, and it's not just for the viewers. Like, honestly, the people within the stories of those reality shows are getting mixed up and messed up along the way. Like, everything's not totally scripted. So it's like, for me, we are entertainers, which is fine. I love what I do. Some people like to call it liars. It's really not what we do. We are who we are, and we bring ourselves to every character. So I feel like when we have reality television, which a lot of real actors don't really appreciate reality TV, you know what I mean? Because it's really not real. And the problem with that's what I think the problem is when it comes to mental health, because it's not real TV. it really is still scripted, but it's softly scripted with bad reality. You understand? So it's like giving somebody an outline and then saying as a script and then saying, all right, these are the key points. Now fill in the drama around that. So you got to make your own drama. So if you're not really a dramatic person for real, you have to play that drama around those key points that they want you to hit on the show as reality. So that's where the reality part comes at, because you're putting yourself in between to fill in the gaps. And now you got New York, and now you got, you know what I mean? You got the ones that's extra to fill in the gaps so that they can be the big one on the show.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times they ain't even like that for real in real life. They're like that for the show.
So would you say that because of the expectation of the actual job, it causes a shift in the mentality of the individual to the point where they lose themselves? They're unable to be their authentic self?
That can happen greatly. I'm gonna tell you myself, I had the thought a couple times of doing reality television. See, the actors look at reality television as either you're not getting much work anymore. You know what I mean? You need a platform to yell and get attention in a sense. You know what I mean? You need to get attention back onto you, so you get on a show like that so you can be all loud and
bougie,
right. You get eyes, you get, you know what I'm saying? And then people thinking you really live like that. Y'all don't even act like that for real in real life. So now every day you're coming back to bring this fake you. Okay, this is the problem. This is where the mental health part comes in, I think, because it's not scripted. I'm not taking this and just reading. I'm not doing that and just making that my own. I'm not doing that. I'm literally improving and bringing myself and making this from me. So now I'm really having to interject and become this crazy person that I feel works and the people like to see. So now every day I'm going to have to come back and bring the same energy for this person. Now, if this show gets picked up and this show keeps running for a couple seasons, I got to keep bringing the same person. So season 1, this is not who I was, but I wanted this show so that I can get some exposure, so that I can act like I'm crazy and possibly be the one that gets exposed out of the house, you know what I mean? Or out of the group as that Nene Leaks or that New York, you know what I'm saying? You see what I mean? And then everything else kind of crashes down around you because you just tried to build this person up just to get this, and that's not even who you are. But now you got to hold this up.
So that what I was going to ask was that it's a self-destructive alternative persona.
I
right?
think so.
So by trying to change your whole character, you're actually changing yourself as an individual. So when we talk about people compromising their morals, their beliefs, or their who they want to be and portray as their own individual characters, all of that becomes self-destructed for the end goal, which was being relevant and being seen.
Relevant and trying to stay relevant. That's the problem. Trying to stay relevant will get you killed or get you put in somebody's psych ward. Trying to stay relevant, that is a dangerous game. And then at the same time, on the flip side of that, you got the audience watching this. And so now the audience that don't really know what the world of acting is like in entertainment, they buying into this reality TV and thinking this is really how these women living. This is really how they are acting. And so now I'm young and I'm watching this and I want to be just like that.
So you saying that it influences the younger generation to
even
want to act like
the older generation. It's influencing other women to be bougie, nitpicky, you know what I mean, or whatever, trying to be out there with they glasses and the and
So
stuff.
wouldn't you say that spans across all entertainment, not only just in acting, but the music industry as well?
Oh yeah, I got music down here too, but I wanted to hit reality TV first. That's why I was like,
Mm.
So I wanna also caveat on that, because there are celebrities, there are people that are already in this realm of exposure where the camera is their lifestyle, right? So
Mhm.
what are some ways or some things that they can do to help them to keep it together, find that balance? Like, this is not this if this is just for the purpose of the business of entertainment, where's the line at? How do they maintain the balance in the line? Should there be mentorship? Should there be outlets? I mean, from how you make it sound, like with the reality TV, some of those folks end up leading some lonely lives. Like,
yeah,
that's mm,
there's actors that you never hear of them again. There's people. I mean, there's some actors that really have had bad bottoms because of reality TV. You know what I mean?
mm.
If you could, I'm sure I could look some up. I'll look some up myself and just and we'll talk about them. If we feel like it's relevant to bring it up, we will. But
Me personally, I just in this with anything you do in life, you have to keep focused on what you're working hard for. Keep
right,
focused. At the end of the day, when you're at home or you eating your dinner or you're at that bar or restaurant or whatever, wherever you at, you gotta learn how to compartmentalize things, put certain things in certain areas, and be able to shut it off.
mm-hmm.
Not take the job home with you. Not take, the paperwork, whatever you're doing in your everyday life to make money and to be successful. Um, Cut it off at a certain point. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're at home, that's your inner peace. That's your sanctuary. That's the time where you focus on you. You
Right.
focus on, whatever things you like to do in your pastime, whether it's reading. Me personally, I like to read. I like to do research on different things. I love to watch movies. Um, just sometimes I love to just listen to music.
Right.
If that's something that I personally do when I feel like I'm just getting overwhelmed with things, or I feel like I'm just scatterbrained. My brain is just in 20,000 different places. I like to just hook up my little Bluetooth speaker, listen to some music, just really kind of focus on and get back in balance, get my inner spirit back in balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't do things like that, you will lose yourself for you, Ebony, in the acting world, or you D in
Entertainment.
in the entertainment industry, or you D in your everyday things that you're doing in your life. For me, in the business and trying to do this and trying to do that, because you don't want to just overwork yourself mentally to a point where you feel like you're about to break or you feel like you're
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed.
Well, see,
Everyone,
the thing that I was gonna say, because I know you was asking as far as entertainment, like how could you stay away from that? How could you help yourself when it comes to that type of thing? My number one thing is meditation, breathing, period. Like when I was going through my training, it's psychology, the psychology of acting, the psychology of whatever it is that you're doing. When I went through my training to get the degree that I have in acting and filmmaking, I literally had a psych class. We had a psychology class course to go through. That's part of my degree. And that's important. Like, if people do not realize that when it comes to entertainment, people, actors and whatever, literally people think we take a script and we just read it off. Like, it's so much more that goes into it. And the psychology behind it is real. Like, there's no way you can see one of these movies, these extreme acting roles on TV, and say that all they did was pick up a script, remember the lines, and went. You know what I mean? There's a whole process that goes into that, and becoming somebody else and bringing that energy. But before you can do that, you have to meditate, pray, center, and get yourself together. Because if you can't get yourself to one balanced place, you can't go here and then come back, go here and then come back. That's when you find actors that commit suicide, rest their souls, that go crazy.
R.I.P.
They've gone here.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. The Joker. You know what I mean? We take extreme measures to reach these roles for y'all. And a lot of times y'all don't really understand how much depth we go to get to reach these characters. Halle Berry, like all of it.
So let me ask you this: what do you do as a entertainer to pour back into yourself? Besides, because meditation helps you, center your mind and so forth. So as far as just like pouring back into your soul, what is some methods that you use?
So again, like you said, meditation, that's the first thing for me, because you can refuel and re-energize through prayer and meditation, and that's it. Like, that's really all you need. But if you're a person who needs something more tangible, music, movement, you know what I'm saying? Music and movement. I don't know if that's working out. I got a lot of friends that meditate through dance. You know what I mean? They release energy through movement. You know what I mean? You get into a room by yourself, put on some African beats or whatever it is that your body is feeling, and you release through movement, expression of movement or whatever. But you figure out what works for you. Okay? You figure it out. Like I have a one of my students, she's 12. And so she was telling me that the one thing that she has a problem with is just being able to reach her character. That's what she wants help with the most, reach her character. And so what do we talk about? Psychology of acting. As a child, I got to teach her psychology of acting so that she can get to a character that's not her. So she can be that slave child that her monologue requires her to be. And she ain't never been a slave in her life. She only 12. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So entertainment is, we have to be careful with how we put our stuff out, because we influence the world.
All right. Well, what about you, D Major? What do you do?
All right. So for me, it's all about the balance of things, right? Me being multifaceted, I do a lot of things, and sometimes the scheduling of things helps me to stay on track for my balance. Not everything is going to go in accordance to how it's planned out all the time. So, as the SEALs would tell you, you can make plans, but you need to plan for that plan to fail, right? You need to be able to have your contingencies. And one thing when it comes to my mental health is, if I'm ever in a position to where I feel overwhelmed or anything, I am prepared to give myself a gap in between everything that I'm doing. I will cut off something, like I won't teach a CPR class, or I won't teach a firearms class, or I won't do something, like I'll just take that break. Finding periods in time for my life when I can take my breaks for me help. And when I say balance, I also think about my physical health, right? So I do martial arts. If you ever want to be able to distract your mind and not worry about the world, pick that one thing that you can focus on that requires your attention, but it also has your movement. One of the best things is martial arts, right? Or like Eboni said, a friend who does dance. If you take a dance class where you're trying to learn a hip hop routine or anything like that, me being a dancer, it's not easy to learn hip hop routines or other type of routines and stuff, because dance is always changing. So when it gives you that focus moment to where that's all you want to concentrate on, and you're just enjoying the process of it, that helps you to let go of everything else for that moment. And whether it be 5, 10, 30, however much time you need as an individual person for you to reset, you got to take those moments for you. I take an hour a day after work. I take my me times. I love cycling, riding my bike around and stuff like that with music on in my ears, because I'm out, I'm getting physical activity. I'm drowning out the noise of everything that's around me, and I'm coming back. I love going to sit by water. I have a couple of lakes around the house and stuff, and I will go sit by the water.
Nice.
And I mean, hey, 808, we love the beach, right? So unfortunately, Maryland don't have no nice beaches and all that stuff out here. So I have to settle for the lakes and the streams. I go out. We have these very nice, beautiful national parks and things out here where I can go and do some hiking by the river and stuff like that, and walking the dog and stuff like that. So those are activities that are just natural ways for me to get out and just take in the air, because at the end of the day, I never let go of the fact that I'm human.
Right.
And what I also love is, before I even start to engage in anything, I already start off with my mental health and meditation, because I have my spiritual hours in the morning, right? So before I start work or anything, I'm up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning every day.
Yeah.
And those are my hours that I start my day. I start my day with a word, a benediction, and a prayer, and a reflection. I start with those things because those are the areas and things that are going to help shape my day or how I'm going to go. Things can always change, but no matter what changes, the consistency and the constant of my life is always going to be that spiritual level with God, because God's got me on all levels and every day.
Amen.
So no matter what, I start my day off on the good foot, and knowing, with the thank you that I woke up this morning, the praise, the benediction, the word, and discernment and stuff. And then I'm able to go about my day prepared, because I feel like I put on that armor to let me know it's going to be some things that's going to come at me that I might have to bounce off. But at the same time, but I'm already ready, and I'm able to come back to that if I need to come back to it.
Yeah.
And it's all about the balance. You can't be afraid to say, I'm not going to do this because I need to take this time out and shut down.
Right.
And I've been doing that a lot lately. I have 50 things going on, but at the end of the day, my priorities will never not be my priorities. So I take time off to make sure priorities are met, but I still got to have my me time, even if it means that I got to let go of an opportunity to make a little bit of money for the time being. Because at the end of the day, my health and me being here is more important than all the money I can make, because I can't spend it if I'm in the grave or if I'm locked up in the hospital or anything like that. It doesn't do nobody no good. And the people most important to me need me to be right. So that's
That's real. I want to take a minute because Jeremy, I'm going to read a couple comments. Jeremy Permit, so that's my brother from another mother. He said balance is important. So agreed there. Miss Falchina Kirkendall, she said that about what we were talking about before, is giving a false perspective of life, talking about entertainment in the reality TV. And then Brent Gaskins, he says, Will's reality. Whoa, no. He said having another grounded adult to talk to that understands the industry. Everybody ain't crazy. That's in this business. There are some level-headed people out there. He said, tell a vision. And then Miss Falchina had a question. She said, what advice would you give to parents on how to keep your child centered when getting them into their part and coming back to reality? I hope this makes sense.
Oh, I know what she's asking. She's asking for, like how you were describing about that role. So when they're shifting into that character, how to bring them back into understanding that was a position, a character for that moment, but this is you on your everyday type of thing. That's a great question.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer that. But Jeremy said, spot on, D Major. Gotta relax and recalibrate. Okay.
Hey, I like that. I like those choice of words. Relax and recalibrate.
That's my brother from another mother.
Relax, recalibrate, rejuvenate, put them all together. Let's breathe.
He's a photographer, a world photographer. So we're gonna talk. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get him. Yeah, we're gonna
hey, let's link.
He's a photographer too, Jeremy.
Yeah, I actually just did a shoot, man. I can't wait to post these pictures. Y'all check out my page because I'm about to drop these nice pictures. I did a photo shoot for a brand for ballistics armor brand, and let me tell you, for those who like to wear ballistic armor and get out there and shoot, it's gonna be a nice thing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. Look, he didn't tell me that. I don't know if he told Steve, but congrats, bro. That's dope.
I'm bringing out the little guns, the big guns. They all gonna be out there on that. So
Okay, so Miss Falchina, this is what I would say, real quick, because it takes technique, and it takes technique. But one of the techniques that I would say is go to Adler. Look at Stella Adler. She talks about centering as well. So, but if you have your kid go to a relaxed state of being, eyes closed, breathing, and you can get them to just be in a relaxed place, not thinking about much of who they are, what they're doing, just literally being in that moment, not worrying about what friends is talking about, not worrying about what rules you're giving them right now, but really just being in their own space for a moment. Usually, if you get them there and then you give them something to say from there, a line or whatever, and they understand what they're saying, it'll come out in the way that they need it to be presented. But that goes with coaching. I don't know if it made sense, but I know what I'm talking about.
I would also like to add, for when it comes to kids
I
and
hope it
stuff,
helps.
if you take a child from one thing and you put them into the area of what they enjoy the most, so in role playing, right? Kids who go into acting and role playing and stuff, they go and it's fun for them. That's an activity for them to do that's fun for them. But to counter that, to bring them back to the sense of normality or normalcy that they need, take them to the activity that they love doing when they were in there every day, and meet the positive enjoyment with the positive enjoyment. Or if it was a negative experience with the acting, take them back to the positive experience of what's it like to be in their normal area of who they are and what they do, being around the family, talking about it, telling stories, playing video games, hanging out, going to the movies, and just having conversations on their everyday walk of life is something that brings them, is their foundation, right? Because it's where they were before they got into the role of acting and doing what they were. So when they can always go back, we can always refer back to our home roots, right? When they can always go back home to the roots, that's a great foundation to start with. And then, teaching them the interchange between both till they find their balance.
So, and then also to that, I'll say, as far as working with kids, sometimes it's not easy to get straight to the mental, psychology part of it. So tangibly, you can use music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tangibly use music. Or before you even get into the space where he needs to get there, work with him or her on mantras. Work with them on mental mantras so that they can bring themselves back to center. Just thinking about and talking themselves through good moments or favorite places or favorite foods or favorite anything. Again, bring them back to home. So mentally that works every time. Now I have had moments where I had a couple kids doing a funeral scene and I lost one. I lost one. I couldn't get her to come back to center. That was the one moment where I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa, this stuff is real. Okay. That psychology is real. Because if you can get a kid, and kids are the easiest to imagine anything. So if you can give a kid something to see, they're gonna see it and they're gonna live it and they're gonna feel it. So
all right, Steve.
That's it for me.
Round us off, man. What you got?
Oh wow! Well, you all had some great points, and you really hit the nail on the head when it comes to mental health and just in different industries and so forth. I guess the only thing I would add to it is kind of piggybacking off of Ebony and D. Just staying focused, keeping their relationship with Yahweh, the Father, making sure that when you start your morning off, that you started off with prayer, you started off with just that quiet time, really focusing on your day, focusing on the things that you need to accomplish, knowing why you're doing these things, because it's a reason for the season. Tough times don't last, but smarter and tougher people do. In so many times we think of toughness as a physical thing, right? But it also pertains to mental, your mental stability, your mental capability.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to business, you always hear people saying, "Oh, business don't sleep, money don't sleep," and you just gotta work, 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 work. That is such a lie. That's how you have a heart attack. You have a stroke. You work your way. You're working your way into the ground. To be honest with you, you're not. And the very thing you're working so hard to do is the very thing that's going to put you in the ground. In it's not just the ground in the physical retrospect. It's in the ground mentally too, because your brain or your mind, it does have a crashing point. It at a breaking point. At a certain point, if you're not being bringing yourself down to reality and really having that center point, whether it be your family, whether it be reading, whether it be writing, going by the water, prayer, meditation, reading your Bible, reading the Quran, whatever that focal point is for you, you need it. It should be very important in your life that you keep that you make sure you do it on a daily basis. Let that be your daily routine, so that way you continually have success, but also you're not losing yourself within the stress of trying to gain that success. Because everything comes with a price. And sometimes it can be a good price or a bad price. It just all depends on what price are you willing to pay to get where you want to be at. Are you willing? Is the price that you're willing to pay is your mental stability, your physical health? Is it worth all these things? In this world we live in tonight, now it's so easy to. It's like the new thing, right? Is to get rich quick, to get that success quickly. So you have people literally trying to kill themselves, doing stupid stuff on social media and so forth to try to obtain this what's really fictitious. But in their mind, they're thinking, "Oh, if I do it, then I'm going to gain all this popularity, all of this, all these financial gains and so forth," and they'll do anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
You have to have a goal. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Keep yourself. The number one thing I tell my children all the time: no one can take care of you better than you. I love you.
Amen.
As your father, I love you. I do anything for you. But it's a point in time where, as a parent, you will set your children off into this world, and they will have to face the very things that you have had to face day in and day out as a young black man, as a young black woman, as an educated black man, as an educated black woman, as an entrepreneur, as a person that has integrity, as a person that has driven. All these things they have to encounter it too. Because this world is not getting better, it's actually getting worse. People are not getting smarter, they actually getting dumber. So if you keep that in mind, your whole job as a parent is to train them up in the way they should go. And they should not depart from that way all the days of their life. But if you're not mentally stable, if you again broken down by the job, by your company, by the endeavors you're trying to do, how can you pour into them?
Right.
You see,
empty. Right.
You're empty. See, this is chess, not checkers. That's one of my favorite things to say. You have to think of the long game. It's so far beyond you. Each generation shall build up the next generation, and that generation shall be greater than the one before it. a lot of times in the Black community, because of that's our mental lackness, and we just look at the sky and we say we can never reach that point. So now we're a prisoner of our minds. You're a prisoner of your brain. You have not, because you don't have the mental capacity to go out there and get it.
Yep.
Then you want to blame somebody else for you not having it. Anything worth having is worth not only working for, but fighting for it.
Right.
Fight for your success. Fight for your mental peace. Fight for your health. Fight for the things that are important to you.
Fight for
as
yourself.
a person. Fight for
Preach,
yourself.
Pastor.
Amen.
Preach,
Fight
Pastor.
for yourself.
Fatina
Because
said
at
that.
the
She said
end of the
society
day,
has gotten lazy.
no one is going to take care of your mental stability. No one's going to take care of you, but you.
Exactly.
Better than you can. So that's what I got to say about it. Just stay focused, stay peaceful, and always thinking. If you're the smartest man in the room, you need to find another room to go to. So find them individuals that are able to pour into you.
Bars. Here we go. So it's time for the nugget drop. All right. It's time for the bars and the nugget drop.
We got some things going on in the room. So Fatina said the power of life and death is in the tongue.
In the tongue.
Oh, yes,
in the tongue.
Hear me? Love that passion.
Listen.
Fatina, yep. And Gail's in the room. Gail's in the house, Steve. Y'all
What's
remember
up, Gail?
Gail?
What's up, Gail?
Gail's from the Ohana family. But she said something interesting. So she said, I see everyday people are doing too much, burning themselves out and getting very little payout for it. I always tell my kids to do what makes you happy. And that might not always be what people expect you to do. But oh well. I know that's right.
Hey, fact.
Yeah.
So I would say that I'm gonna pull straight out of what Gail's saying. When you're doing what you love, you don't really work a day in your life, right?
You don't.
So if you truly enjoy what you're doing, it's not really work. It's a pleasure of doing it, right? It's just an enjoyment. It's an enjoyable activity. I think that everyone, when you find yourself overstressed and overworked out and you feel like you've lost a sense of enjoyment for what you're doing, you either need a break or you need to find another avenue of some activity or something for you to be doing, because that probably is not, here's my little church nugget right here, that's probably not your spiritual gift that you were supposed to be blessing the world with. All right, everybody has a spiritual gift, and then when I say a spiritual gift, it does not mean that you're a singer, entertainer, a rapper, or whatever. Your spiritual gift and how you bless others, because we live in a world that needs servitude, right? How we serve to others and how we can be good to our other man is also what feeds back into us and what makes us feel good, right? I absolutely enjoy mentorship. I enjoy bringing somebody up and inspiring and motivating others and stuff like that. I am hands down, people get tired and annoyed of me because I get so passionate about somebody else telling me what they want to do, and I'm always on top of them about like, hey, go do it. When you gonna do this? What's the update? Because I'm so excited to see other people succeed. Right, I'm very excited to see other people succeed, and I'm like, woo, man! I can't tell you, like, and maybe it comes from the fatherhood, because I like the super soccer dad, right? My oldest has been the state for track every year since freshman year, right?
Following her daddy footsteps,
right? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's nothing but pride and enjoyment when I hear her talk about I made it. Like she made it. I don't just want you to make it. I want you to win it. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever just be satisfied with getting there. Exceed that expectation that you have, and once you go above that and everything, you set your own ceiling. You let everybody know that whatever breakthrough need to happen, you already going what they call it, the catapult, when you wind it up. So when it's ready to go down and launch, you gonna be full effect launching right on up top. But you ain't gotta wait for nobody else to tell you about it. But your mental preparation, your mental health, and your mental preparation for whatever you're striving to do starts with you. It don't come from nobody else. You can ask everybody else for advice. You can ask everybody else for their input and everything. But at the end of the day, what's inside of you that stirs you and fuels you and makes you want to get up and go. If you ain't doing that, if you ain't feeding yourself what you need for your own motivation and stuff, sit your behind down because you ain't ready to walk and move and jump high and do nothing else. You need to sit still and meditate on it for a minute. Have several seats. And after you get done having them seats and everything, you finally get what you need and you can actually get up and give that praise because you found where you need to be in your servitude of your spiritual gift and everything, then you execute. And when you execute, you do that to the fullest extent and passion of all things that you have within you. And after it's all done, you look back and say, hey, all I need to do was get up.
That's it.
Get up.
And
That's
say,
what I'm talking about. There you go. There you go.
I think that's a beautiful round table right here where we need to drop this thing off at. Jeremy said, mic drop.
Hey, Jeremy, we want you to keep coming on here and commenting all the time, man. Jeremy, keep putting it in,
most definitely.
You and Brent and everybody, we appreciate y'all, man.
Join up on guys.
Hey, if you want to be the first chair in the fan club, start it up, Jeremy. You on there.
Thank you guys for your input. Thank you for coming into the room and putting no energy onto this topic because it's very important. We had some very important statements made and great points. And Jeremy's still going. We had great points and ways that we can help get ourselves over the hump. So what I would like is for you guys to come into our chat, not in the chat because we're about to end this. But come into the email and on our pages and let us know what you think from the conversation would help mental health in your field. Some of the things that you see,
we can talk about it.
You can help. You can see that can help people get through those. And like Steve said, we can talk about it. We'll bring it up on another show, and we might bring you into the room for that show. So who knows?
I was just about to say that anybody that works in the mental health industry, hey, reach out to one of us and we would love to have you on.
And bring somebody back to the show with you next week. Bring somebody to the show with you next week. Share this. Let them know that we out here and we dropping gems and bring them to the show next week. Follow me, follow Steve, Jamel, and follow D Major. We got goals, y'all. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss none of it.
Please do. So, hey, if you haven't seen and paid attention, check the scroll across the screen right now. But it's also in the feed on the YouTube channel as well as the Facebook and everything. mybo.podcast@gmail.com. We're here for you. So go ahead and shoot us those emails so we can go ahead and put more work because, hey, if we're going to work regardless. But if it's something specific that you want us to address sooner than later, you might want to send us that email.
We're researchers.
Yeah, we research. We research. When I say we research, we go in depth, thoroughly, educationally, not Wikipedia.
Peace, my people.
All right, mahalo.
Mahalo.
Deuces.